And it helps as well just hearing your voice in the room if you've got the microphone. Just going to do introductions now. So my name's Callum Ward. I'm the chair of the board. I'm a board member from Spreydon, and we're going to go clockwise around the room, and you can all introduce yourself.
Kia ora, Jane Walters, Community Board Advisor.
Kia ora, Keir Leslie, Community Board Member for Cashmere.
Kia ora, I'm Melanie Coker, I'm the Councillor for Spreydon.
Kia ora koutou, Sarah Templeton. I'm the councillor for the Heathcote ward.
Kia ora koutou, I'm Lee Sampson. I'm a community board member based in Cashmere.
Kia ora koutou, Tim Lindley, community board member, Heathcote.
Kia ora and good evening. I'm Tim Scandron. I'm the councillor for Cashmere.
Kia ora, Anna, Roy Keneally, community board member, Spreydon.
Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. So we don't have any apologies today? Oh, no, we do have an apology from Will. Will's, had a bereavement, so he sends his apologies for this meeting. Any early departures? No? Yep, sure. Noted, Sarah? Noted. Okay, good to know. Cool. So community open forum. So Sonia, you've come to talk to us about yellow lines. Did you want to come up to the table here? And yeah, you come up as well, Steve. Yep. So just make sure those mics are turned on with the green light. There should be, and there's a button on the right for the person. Cool. Oh, sweet. Right, yeah. Might just have to share one. Jane's just working on bringing the photos you sent through up on the screen. So, but in the meantime, feel free to take it away.
Yeah. So I'm Steve Beatty. I'm a neighbour of Sonia's, and we share the same driveway. So just actually in the shot there, that's actually not our street. That's actually the corner of Mathers Road and Hoon Hay. And we're the exact opposite. We've got no yellow lines everywhere. And if it was this shot, we'd be exit stage right into our drive opposite the T intersection. And if you go, I suppose, to the next photo, the photos really tell the picture of, so that there's a photo of where the greyness hasn't quite come up. So, yeah, so, but it's just, so if you go down to the next shot, so, sorry, you just.
I heard grey, sorry.
Yes, so where it's got 40, the dotted lines is where we'd like the yellow on the street, and you can see Neville Street and Barrington. Our drive where it's got 406 and 408, so there's actually two driveways beside each other, 5.5 metres wide each. And so there's basically 6 properties up 406, A to F, and I'm at flat 401, 408, my neighbour Adam's at 2. 408A is a building site with 9 townhouses going in at 23 bedrooms and only 9 car parks. So there will be a lot of traffic up and down our own shared drive that Sonia and I share, and Sonia's at the back at 408B. So basically we're diagonally sort of opposite. As we come out to the street, you'll see some photos shortly. We've got a lot of vision problems, looking left, looking right, but also got to look at the T. That's some of the pictures of the townhouse development. And 9 squeezed in there, will be a lot more traffic. So that's actually me parked in my car looking left towards the Cashmere Hills. There's rubbish day, so there's a few more bins around than normal. But Barrington Street at that same point's got a slight curve in it as well. So we're facing a curve looking out, so we've got to look a bit left and a bit more right. But that's about an average day at the moment. The Arahura Medical Centre is just, you can see their sign on the extreme left, so that's next to us as well. So they do have car parks outside, but not as much. But it's when you've got both, and you've got a bus stop to our right as well. And the biggest issue is people coming out onto Neville Street from Neville Street. At the moment, between Neville Street, Edinburgh and the 4 cross streets, I've counted over 70 infill housing units going in right now that have not got any residents at. So that's just under construction right now. So the amount of traffic coming out onto Barrington from there, either going down to the mall or going north, means we're trying to look each way. The next slide, if you could go down to the next one, please. So that's me. You can see my mirror at the bottom there. we can't actually see right behind that van. Now, that is a builder's van that's there because of the construction behind itself, but there is quite a few cars parked further up the street because they just do. But you can see, I can't see the people exiting Neville, it's right behind. My neighbour Adam's got a wee BMW sports car and it's quite low, and he can't, even a car, a sedan there, he can't, or a station wagon, he's really having trouble to exit. So it's really quite dangerous. So behind where the furthest four-wheel drive is there, you can see a guy leaning on something, as it looks like a gentleman down there. There's a bus stop down there as well. So if you've got a big green bus parked there, we've got no vision, and you can see the slight curve there as it curves away. So it does make the vision really hard. So if you go to the next one, please, if you could. That's looking back from Neville. There's the island. I've got that in context with the island there. So our driveway is just to the right of that van. And as where the lamppost is there, our driveway's to the left of it, and 406 is to the right of that driveway. So they can't see us if there's a vehicle parked there at all. So what we're looking at, our submission really is to ask for yellow lines 3 metres to the south of 406, not a whole car length even from the 406 side. Turning left's not so bad because you don't have to look at the cars coming up Barrington, you've only have to look to the Neville and north. But if you're trying to turn right and head to Graham Street to go to Riccarton or go to anywhere, we've got to look 3 ways at once. My daughter has had a very small accident there, low level speed, where a girl turned up from the Neville Street. My daughter came out the drive. They both slowed down and it was just a gentle tap. And that was 2 years ago, but we've had a lot of close ones. You look left, right, you're trying to go like that. You know? So there's one more, I think, possibly, or is that the end of it? Yeah, so that's, I suppose, yeah, questions or?
Did you have anything to add to that, Sonia? Or just here to support the?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you get a small car coming out of Neville Street, you can't see it. And one little grey car, we've just about hit 3 times. I'm sure it's the same
Oh, I know
car.
who it is, actually, yes.
Yeah.
They just don't, this lady looks left and right. She doesn't look to us. And I've even put my headlights on so that she'll try and see us, and she still doesn't see us. She doesn't have the vision to, she's going like this and she's not looking there. The other one I have had 3 close calls is cyclists coming down, heading south, because you've only got to have a couple of cars in the bus. You look left, right, but that they come from behind the car and you just can't see them. So I'm really concerned someone will get injured.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. That's really, really clear description of the problem. The pictures are super helpful, straight to the point. Have we got any, Lee, you got a question?
So I was just trying to completely understand the logic. On one of the previous drawings, you were still talking about the yellow lines going right between both of those properties.
Well, I wanted to go north to the bus stop. So if you go back to the, sorry, if you can scroll back up to the diagram one, where I've got there's a bus. See where it says the word Barrington, there's a bus shown there as a graphic on the Google website. So what we're looking is to go the yellow lines in front of 410, 412.
Yeah.
I mean, the council might not consider, if you go back to my original photo at the top where I had the picture of Mathers and that one there, does council need to consider, and this is not our submission, but just an idea, does council actually need to consider putting a turning arrow like you see in the picture there into Neville Street so traffic can come down Barrington? At the moment, if a bus stops outside number 14 and you've got people turning, it almost needs to be a bit of a realignment, but that's not our main issue, is just getting in and out of our drive.
I suppose I completely understand the logic in terms of if you're exiting a driveway, but the reality is there is going to be some car parking requirement there, especially with infill's a reality of modern life, and we're in a transitional period in terms of vehicles and public transport and use of. So I still don't understand all the logic why all that would be yellow lined at the moment.
Well, that one is, my thing is that why is that one done and our one not? We've got more traffic coming out of this side street at Neville Street than there would be out of Mathers Road.
Yeah,
because
Hold on, just through the chair. I've got a question from Mel and then Tim.
I've just got to wrap up. Just
Okay,
in terms
final
of if there hasn't been any conversations with the other stakeholders, so the neighbours and the people that would be affected.
We had, can I reply to that? We had 4 people from 406 sign it and all 3 of us that live at 408 signed it. Yeah.
So Mel tells me your question's been answered.
Yeah, but not 410 or 12.
No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right. Question from Tim Lindley and then Roy.
Yeah, mine was, you've drawn your little yellow line where you want it, but you've put this picture of the intersection with Neville Street, with Mathers Road.
As a comparison,
So is your position that ideally, as much as possible of what exists at Mathis Road should be on yours?
I think Mathis Road's longer and I don't think ours needs to be.
Yeah.
Because like Mathis Road goes up probably 100 metres each way. It's a long, long way. Is that because of the turning bay though? And Melanie might argue there's more traffic goes up Mathis Road because she's more that into town. And there is quite a bit because my grandfather-in-law used to live down off Mathis Road, so I am familiar with it. So there is quite a bit of traffic through both.
I'm just thinking from a perspective of get it right, fix it once, get it right.
I agree. And that's why I suggested that as a turning bay worth considering.
Yep.
Cool. Roy, did you want to finish us off with the question?
What I was going to say is on Mathis Road, there's not many houses, there are only like smaller subdivisions on Mathis Road. So not many cars are coming out. You've got a lot of cars coming out, which.
And a lot more infill coming, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, if everyone's happy with this, we'll refer this request to staff for advice. And they'll come back to us with a recommendation, and I'm sure they'll look at Mathis Road as well for comparison and tell us about if there is a difference, why that difference is there. Yeah. Is that everyone happy with that? Cool.
Thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Cool. So, thanks. It was light. So now we're stopping the live stream. Is that right? Cool. So next up, Heidi. I saw you hiding somewhere, and Jonathan and Nicholas to talk about sycamore tree removal in Ernley Clark Puro Reserve